Okay, well, welcome to this Second Brain template. I am really happy to be able to share this with you. If you haven't yet been able to work with it, this is the right place to start. This installation guide is going to give you everything you need to understand how to install, customize, and maintain your template. Now, thanks to you and many other people, this template that has been only 2 weeks on the marketplace is in the first positions of that Notion marketplace. So thank you. It really means a lot to me. Thank you for trusting the system. And I hope that it really helps you organize and be productive in your life and in your business. Now, my name is Jose Madlin. I'm the creator behind this template. And if you've downloaded the installation guide, you might be in this place. This is my Substack, the Real Founder Substack. It's where on a weekly basis, I'm going to be uploading systems, tools, and resources that I find interesting that I create, that I want to validate, and I do that for free. Once they're validated, I'm going to start selling them. So if you are subscribed, your chances of downloading those products is really, really high. So don't be shy and subscribe, and I'll see you in there. Now, another thing, if you haven't had a chance to review the template, please do so. It only takes a few seconds. It's down here, and it allows me to help you and others by sharing all these resources for free. So it really helps me. I put a lot of work into this template, and hopefully you'll find the attention to detail and the time spent on this template. It's the final product. And hopefully it'll be of great use. Now, this Second Brain has a philosophy behind it, and this is what we're going to be talking about in this video, and an overview also of the template. And the philosophy is basically it's like a real brain. It has two different hemispheres. The first hemisphere, your knowledge management system, where you're going to capture and organize information. And the second hemisphere is the productivity hemisphere. That's where you're going to distill the information and you're going to create something with it. This is not a treasure cove or a place where you're just going to be hoarding information. You're actually going to do something with it. So that's basically what this template was built to do. And that's why I created it. Now, one thing I want to say is this Second Brain is completely different to the rest in the marketplace, and it has a story behind it. The reason why I built this template, even if there's thousands of templates out there, and probably you might think there's no need for another one, is I found a big problem whilst using those templates. And they were great, they looked great, and they were working great at the beginning. But once I spent a lot of time capturing information and working with it, I started to find a big problem. And the big problem, the blocker, was basically I didn't have a hierarchy of areas in where to put my information, and I didn't know how that information could talk to each other. I mean, things like a project where you have, for example, copy, and you have a structure, you have different offers. How do all those different pieces of information work together? How do they connect? And that's the issue that we're solving today with this template. Now, there's two versions of it. There is a personal template, which is great for working with if you don't have a business. If you have a business, however, I do recommend using the business template. And I'm going to do this review with this business template, which is very similar to the personal one, but I just want you to see how it works. So basically what we do is, as I say, we have to capture information as the first step. So we have a quick capture section here, different buttons that are going to allow you to capture actions, tasks, resources, projects, notes, and a daily log. We're going to go further into detail in the next videos, but I just want to show you real quick how it works. So let's say you want to create a new project. So I create a new project and I'm going to call it social media. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and this is the different thing, and the differentiator, is I'm going to send it to the social media department. Okay. In scope, I'm going to say business. So that's it. I just created a new project. Now I have two here. That's because basically this is a second video I make, but the social media project has been created. It's not started, but it has been created. So if I click here on social media, that's the area, I'm going to see I'm sending this to the project inbox inside my social media department. Okay. So that's how it works. Basically, you have the same departments as a business, or in your personal life, there's also departments. It can be like spirituality or traveling or anything. And that's like the big chunk of information. That's how it's organized in a department. Now, what happens when you want to go further in and inside the social media department, you want to go into, for example, community or in the different distribution channels. So that's how it's actually built. Let me go backwards to explain it properly because I missed a step. So for example, in a business, you have different departments. You have a R&D department, which is basically where your research and development information lives. So I want to capture some copy that was really interesting online. So that's how I do it. I go here, capture a resource, I copy paste all the information, and I send it to my inspiration department. Now, if I want to go into marketing, I want to work with a piece of information that is of a distribution channel. Inside marketing, I have all my accounts. Basically, this is a quick access. Sorry, I have this. This is the departments here, and I have my social media, my content, my strategy. Inside here, I have all my channels. So what happened before was basically I have this section with a quick access, and I have a mix of the elements and the sub departments that I work on a daily basis. So you can do this. You can pin and pin them. And you can actually customize this to your own needs. So that's how areas actually work. That's part of that knowledge management system. Now, for the productivity system, we're going to work with tasks, basically. So here, we're going to be able to have our daily tasks, and we're going to customize it here on the next video to see how they work, timelines of those tasks, all the pending tasks, not only the daily ones, but the full list of the pending tasks, which are associated to the projects. I also have a products and services add-on. This is only for the business edition, and it's an add-on, so you would buy this separate. But it's also really interesting, and I show you this because you can actually do this for your own personal sections. Everything is modular, everything is customizable. So I created, for example, 18 different, I'm just going to move this here so you can see 18 different templates for digital offers and services. So for example, I want to create, let's say, a guide. So I would go here to guides, I click on the button, and it automatically going to build this for me, and it's going to be in the right place. So for example, I have offers, services, products, everything here. They are under the categories. Let's say products. So under products, I have, for example, let's say templates, whatever. So that's how they work. It's really, really interesting to work with this system because I can create a value ladder really quick. Let's say I want a value ladder from free to high ticket. So just by clicking here, I can create a resource that's a lead magnet. I can create a workshop. I can create a course or a mastermind, whatever. In this case, particularly, I created my installation of my guide. So you can see this guide that you're in right now. I created it like this. So I just need to fill in the blanks and I have my own guide. That's how the system works. That's how I work with my information. What else? We have resources and references, and we also have notes and lists. The most important thing in the footer is the weekly review, which we're going to see in maintenance, and also the databases. So this is the backbone of the whole template, the databases. And you can see it's a big system, but it actually is not a big system. It's a small system because you only have a bunch of databases. And in those databases, you're not going to even touch them. So you have the general panel of the second brain, which is something that you're not going to touch with the main areas. And for each of these areas, we have a database. So we have a database for areas. We have a database for projects, actions, tasks, resources, notes, goals, and references. Not for sub areas and not for elements because those are inside areas. So that's all we have. That's all there is to this system. It's just a bunch of databases and different views, different categories, so you can work with them, and then add-ons that we use here. For example, these authors. We also have a Content OS, System OS, Action OS. So these ones, only Authors OS and Action OS, are available for purchase. In fact, Action OS, I'm going to explain you what it is already inbuilt into, this is something I'm going to give you for free if you go for the business edition. If you are interested in this system, it's called Founder OS. Just send me an email and I'll tell you how you can get access to the early bird, which is going to be not very expensive. It's going to go up in price once I have it all in place. Now, what is Action OS? Well, Action OS is the last piece that you need to be productive, because it's called the 90-day cycle. So what I do is basically I create actions in 90 days cycles. I have a GPT depending on which objective you have. If you want to create content, if you want to create offers, if you want to create an audience, you click on the GPT and you populate this database with the information, your daily checklist. So you do this once and it's going to be repeated. You're going to do same tasks every day. These are going to be customized. And then this is going to be this section here, your journaling, your emails, your threads. You're going to work on this on a daily basis. So that's going to depend on your objective. And this Action OS, which looks really cool, is the new aesthetic of the whole Second Brain, is up here in this section. So you have your daily task. For example, I am on day 3, for example, and I have that information here. So I know exactly what I'm doing on that day, but I can also create the information for the next 7 days. And all this is connected to Content OS. So if you can see here, I'm working on my distribution. I have these distribution channels connected here. They are connected to the Content OS. So in the view here, which is not ready, but I can give you a tease, I'm going to be able to create, and you can see it's not ready, all the tasks and everything is going to be, you're going to be able to view it here, and it's also going to be inside here. So that's basically how Second Brain works. You have a personal edition, you have a business edition. I'm going to explain you exactly why business is so interesting if you have a business, and the basically hint is it's all because of these areas and how you can work and how you can pre-build on top of those areas. So that's all. Please review the template if you haven't done yet. That's going to help me a lot. And I'll see you on the next video, which is basically installing the template.